So social media caused me to get a divorce. Like, that's dumb. That's a mistake. Let me explain.
Well, I can't wait to hear this.
Y'all want some raw and real this morning? Today's mediation.
He said, well, one of the other girls I'm seeing just started this non-hormonal birth control. Maybe that would work for you.
Today we will be looking at
A woman shared her regrets about not working harder to save her marriage now that her ex-husband is happily remarried.
women destroying their marriages.
I have a question for the men. What the fuck do you want?
I love him.
But the dating world is impossible. You're tired.
Question 13. Have you ever had a sexual fantasy involving one of your husband's friends?
The answer is yes.
True.
Question 14. Do you have any romantic feelings for a man other than your husband? You're going to have to speak the answer to me.
The answer is yes.
Question 15. Have you had sexual relations with any of your husband's friends and never told him about it?
The answer is yes.
True.
Question 16. Do you think you deserve a better husband?
No.
True.
There's no way you're stopping, is there?
I'm going.
Yeah. Question 17. Since you have been married, have you had sexual relations with a man other than your husband in your own bedroom? I need your answer.
The answer is yes.
True.
Question 18, Shannon, for $200,000. Are you still in love with Chad?
Yes, I really love him.
True.
I bet that relationship ended right after that show. I would have made sure I got half of that money. First due to emotional damage, and then I would tell her to go straight to hell. You just said you don't think you deserve a better husband and that you still love him. So why you cheating? That's hella embarrassing. Amazing how cheap she is. Has already destroyed her marriage, but is willing to put her husband in a terrible situation for money. Then she has the audacity to say she loves her husband. Streetwalkers have more respect than she does. This is reality for a lot of people, unfortunately. Morals are at an all-time low, and the media only pushes it further. Imagine being the husband sitting there and has to listen to all of that. This woman just destroyed her marriage, and in the process, she shattered her husband's heart. She's done so many disgusting things behind his back, and he was only able to find out because this woman is being paid to tell the truth. Protect yourself, fellas.
So social media caused me to get a divorce. Like, that's dumb. That's a mistake. Let me explain. My own feelings of uncertainty and unhappiness for a while. I was actually, I hate telling people this, but like, I had thoughts on my wedding day, and I thought that was just super normal. And I was in the haze of being a new mom. We got pregnant very early in our relationship, which again, another story for another day. But you know, being a new mom, I had two young kids, and I was just in survival mode. So I really didn't have a lot of time to think about me or what I wanted or what I was feeling. I was just in kind of like autopilot. And I think that's probably why if you go back on my page, you'll see any videos of me talking about my husband where like I make us out to be like the happiest couple ever, which we're not unhappy. There is actually not a lot of tea here. There's not a lot of like jealousy or animosity or a big story or anything that was wrong. It just also wasn't right.
That's why I only love my truck and motorcycle. Now they won't wake up and decide they don't love me anymore. They should do marriages like lease option agreements, 6 months trial period, and then decide if you want to buy. Who told everyone that they should expect to always be happy all the time in their marriage? What I'm hearing is that my marriage was completely fine. The excitement of being married, having a baby faded away, and then after that, Reality smacked her in the face. Then she realized she has actual responsibilities now. That's why I keep telling you guys to make sure you are marrying the person that shows you she has the abilities to be a wife.
So I was seeing this guy, and the last time we hung out, he tried to convince me not to use a condom, and I asked him to leave. He later apologized, and we haven't talked in a while. He called last night, and we were chatting, and he was like, I haven't heard from you in a minute. I was wondering if it's because you went on birth control. Maybe you've been hormonal. I said, no. I told you I don't take birth control because it makes me feel like shit. He said, well, one of the other girls I'm seeing just started this non-hormonal birth control. Maybe that would work for you. I cannot believe I'm here. Like, I went from being married to hearing one of the other girls I'm sleeping with, you should try the birth control she's using so I can you without a condom. I hate it here.
Father Time just wanted to show her the grass wasn't greener on the other side. A lot of marriages end because they don't sit down and work it out. It's only after years they realize how badly they messed up, just like this woman here.
A woman shared her regrets about not working harder to save her marriage now that her ex-husband is happily remarried. The 41-year-old woman shared to the True Off My Chest subreddit that she left her husband around 10 years ago, shortly after they'd had their first child together. According to this woman, there were no major issues in the marriage. She was a stay-at-home mom and had her husband wrapped around her finger. He did whatever she said, and she burned him out. When he grew tired of her demands, she started threatening divorce. She thought she was still a great catch and that she could do better than her husband, so she left. She ended up getting joint custody of her son and the house after the divorce. Now, 10 years later, the ex-husband is happily remarried with a baby daughter and a new house. The divorced woman, on the other hand, has been unmarried ever since. She's jealous of her ex-husband's new wife, saying, she took my husband, she took my kid, she took my life that was once mine, and now I live in an empty house. She claims she is alone and miserable and wishes she would have been a better wife 10 years ago so she wouldn't be in this situation. As you can probably imagine, not many people were very sympathetic towards this woman. You got what you deserved and he got what he deserved, one Redditor commented. Others noted that the new wife didn't take anything from her, with one saying, you gave it away. This woman's story may end in bitterness and guilt, but that's not the case for most divorcees. According to research derived from family law attorneys, 80% of divorcees end up remarried. While divorce is a valid option in many situations, it's not always the solution. It takes two to make things work, and many people believe this woman reaped what she sowed.
Wow, how amazing is that, huh? This woman had everything a wife could have wanted, but because he started to put his foot down, she started threatening him. And according to her, the marriage was great, but in the end, she walked away with his house while having joint custody of the child. Not only did she destroy her own marriage, she grew jealous of her ex-husband because he actually found someone who loved him. She blamed his new wife for everything she had done. As a result of her actions, she was miserable. Congratulations. Your wish came true.
I'm a former nanny. I write poetry, and sometimes I make anal.
What kind of a nanny?
Different ages.
Sure, great.
I'm very nurturing.
I need some nurturing, so that sounds great.
That's just nasty. What's your age?
42.
Are you single?
Yes, I am.
Do you think that men your age are going for older or younger women?
Younger.
Why?
Social media.
What about it?
OnlyFans, these young wild girls that are on there and just revealing themselves. I think it's just a different generation now. You have a lot of accessibility to a lot of different type of women, and unfortunately, that's a man's weakness, and they fall short.
And where do older women fall short?
I don't think women are as weak as men. I hate to say that.
In what sense?
In the sense of women are a man's downfall. I mean, it's been proven over and over. Yes, there's women out there that cheat. but it's more known for men to do that.
Well, it all goes back to women at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. Listen, if you love someone, you're loyal. Man or woman.
She's 43 and still delusional. Men aren't going for younger women because they have OnlyFans. They are going for younger women because they are more attractive, and they're better for having children. According to this study, 90% of women eggs are gone by the age of 30. I do have to agree that some women are a man's downfall, but it's also that man's fault for being blind and weak to allow such a thing to happen.
Y'all want some raw and real this morning? Today's mediation. I haven't slept for 1 minute. I wanted a piece of my grandparents with me today. And I have a $2 bill that my grandpa signed and wrote a message on when I was 5. And I've had it forever in the same spot in our house. And somehow this morning when I went to get it, it's missing. I'm so upset. This sucks. I feel so overwhelmed today. Why? This is the worst. I don't wish divorce on anybody. The only thing I can think of is, I don't know if my ex took it to be a jerk or one of my kids took it. Like, it's literally been in my nightstand drawer with me since the day I moved in this house in 2006. And I've had it with me since I was 5. And I consider it like a good luck charm. After all the moves I've had through divorced parents and bad relationships, it's one thing that I've always kept. And I'm so upset. I hope this isn't the start to what this day is gonna hold for me. But this is the reality of divorce, y'all. We have our highs and our lows. We feel confident some days and we don't others. And today is one of those days where I'm supposed to be ready for mediation in 30 minutes to do on Zoom, and you see what I look like. I'm a mess. I can't seem to pull myself together. Please, y'all pray for strength for me.
I don't wish this on anyone, but I would like to point out marriage is not for everyone. It comes with many challenges that you have to overcome. And when you can't overcome them, you end up like this woman here. Before you go into it, really think. Ask yourself if this is something you really want to get into. For some people, when it doesn't work out, it can damage them forever.